Alright, Shalom. This is Azimawah. First and foremost, I'd like to say, Call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakal Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Bakayar, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And as always, it's an honor and privilege to continue to do this work. This video is going to be dealing with the news, another news video. Just measuring the times diligently. This is CharlotteObserver.com. It says powerful 5.1 magnitude earthquake jolts Charlotte area, strongest in North Carolina in 104 years. It says a 5.1 magnitude earthquake felt in Charlotte shortly after a.m. Sunday was centered just over a mile south of Sparta, near the Virginia border. The strongest quake to hit North Carolina in more than a century. In fact, it was the strongest earthquake in the state since 1916. According to the National Weather Service, when a 5.2 magnitude quake occurred near Skyland, just outside of Asheville, Sparta is a Allegheny County town of about 1,800 people, 100 miles north of Charlotte. People in the immediate area of Sparta reported strong shaking, the U.S. Geological Survey reported. The quake was centered about 2.2 miles deep, officials said. Photos posted on social media show cracks in street pavement, brick facades, I think that's brick facades on homes, crumbling, and items thrown off store shelves. Then you can see the earthquake damage from the ground rippling, right? It says it was the strongest of 6 reported earthquakes centered in that region since Saturday. Others in the cluster range in magnitude from 2.1 to 2.6, according to USGS. People in the Charlotte region reported being roused from sleep by the shaking, and comments began to flood social media. Charlotte area residents were quick to point out this was just the latest unexpected development in a year that already brought in global pandemic, economic crisis, contentious presidential election, and a hurricane just last week to North Carolina. I'm ready to get off of this 2020 roller coaster. I did not have earthquake in my Charlotte 2020 bingo card, Aaron Brendan wrote on Twitter. Yeah, because as much as a roller coaster 2020 has been, it's just going to get even worse, man. You know, it's just going to get even worse. And this is Isaiah chapter 29 verse 6. It says, thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake. You know, that's how Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to visit you. Now, Yahweh is not going to get off of his throne. He's going to send his son Yahushai and the angels to do his bidding, as you see all throughout the scriptures. And one of the things in which he shows as a sign in how he's visiting you is thunder, earthquake, great noise, storm, and tempest, flame of devouring fire, man. You know, and you've seen that all throughout this week. Within the past, 7-9 days, you know, which you have Beru. Some people are saying it's a tactical nuke. Some people are saying that it's an ammonium nitrate, the fertilizer, which in order to make in order to activate such an explosion with that many tons of fertilizer, you're going to have a fuel source, and then you're going to have a source in which to ignite those two combined elements, man. So you have certain people thinking that it was the Israeli military that actually dropped the bomb on them or caused that explosion to happen, you know, which killed scores of people. But nonetheless, that was Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai giving charge to the angels to move those minds of those individuals to make that occur. You know, if they indeed dropped the bomb or discharged the bomb or however it went down, the Most High is still visiting this place with flames of devouring fire. So Isaiah chapter 29 verse 6 again, and thou shalt be visited, O Yahweh host, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Yeah. So that's how you can expect, you know, and that's what you can expect for here on out, man. The Most High bringing plagues upon this place called America, man. And this is St. Mark. Just bear with me. And I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives over against the temple, Peter and James and John and Andrew asked him privately, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign when all these things shall be fulfilled? And Yahushua answering them began to say, take heed, which meaning to take warning, lest any man deceive you, you know. So there's going to be men out there that are actually set up to deceive you, man. You know, especially dealing with these different religions in the world, you know, these that are set up, these different pastors and preachers, those that are on TV, television, you know, those that are put at the forefront as a so-called religious leader, man, on national TV, man, like your popes, like your TBN pastors and preachers, so on and so forth. Verse 7, it says, and when ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled. And that's been going on for quite a long time, man. You know, since I can remember, maybe since Desert Storm, you know, there's been skirmishes here and there. You had the Beast go against, had a war against Serbia. You know, you had the 9/11, then you had what was the next place? You start to hear things about Iran, and then you start to hear about things about North Korea. You started to hear things about every single nation in which I believe his name was General Wesley Clark stated that these are the nations in which we have to take down. We have to establish a central bank, and there's only two nations left at this present moment, which is Iran and North Korea. You know, which Esau's whole goal was to get all these nations underneath one system, you know, so he could control not only the people that are in his jurisdiction, so to speak, but he could control everybody's affairs, all these nations' affairs, and be the sole power dictating his will upon earth, man. It says, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So we're going to see that coming to fruition, man, real soon. You know, you're going to see more and more of these nations rising up against each other. You're going to see more skirmishes with nations such as China and India, or Iran and the United States, and so on and so forth. You know, because as this so-called pandemic is crippling the economies of these nations, is going to cause more and more civil unrest, and everyone has the saying in the back of their memory that deals with conspiracy and history, most notably that these tough economic situations often lead to wars, man. You know, it says, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. Now I want to look up the word diverse, which is several, various, sundry. So in various places. And I always talk about the ring of fire, which you should have learned about growing up in elementary school, maybe even junior high. We're dealing with science and geology. You know, this is the ring of fire that's in the Pacific. Wait. Yeah, the Pacific, because this is Australia, South America, Central, North America, Canada, you know, and then you got Alaska, then you got Russia, then you got China and all there, Australia, so on and so forth, right? So let's go to earthquake.usgs.gov. Says ring of fire. The ring of fire, also called the circum-Pacific belt, is the zone of earthquakes surrounding the Pacific Ocean. About 90% of the world's earthquakes occur there. The next most seismic region, 5 to 6% of earthquakes, is the Alpide belt. Extends from Mediterranean region eastward through Turkey, Iran, and North India, which you have a lot of major earthquakes happening on the Alpide belt, you know. So the majority of the earthquakes happen on this ring of fire, with 5 to 6% happening on the Alpide belt, you know, and then you have earthquakes that happen through the ordination of the Most High, you know. This is a second, which all earthquakes happen because of the ordination of the Most High. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 verse 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, which we're in the latter times, shall dwell in the world. So these are part of those great miseries, these earthquakes, and all the other different spirits created for vengeance. It says, because they have walked in great pride. Yeah, pride. Pride is a big thing with people, man. People don't know when to take the low. People don't know when to be humble. And people don't know when enough is enough. People don't know when to pretty much fall back and examine themselves in this society, man. And that's just the spirit that is sent forth as a wicked vibration for all these people to be captivated by and to mold their moral character by, man, to have great pride, you know, for no reason. And this is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So we're seeing the earthquakes. These are the signs. He said, measure the time diligently. When you see part of the signs pass. So these signs of earthquakes and these signs of these riots and these protests, which are uproars of the people, all signify the return of the Messiah, man, who the world inly calls Jesus Christ. It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, you know. So this is just a reminder that we're getting closer and closer to salvation, you know, and Yahweh's return to earth. So with that, I hope at least one brother of the elect was edified, and I'm going to say shalom.